Denise. Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. Denise. It's a podcast party. It's a podcast party. It's a podcast party.
I gotta say, I feel like we're besties now after this. What's up, guys? It's Denise Salcedo. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. I'm your host, Denise Salcedo, and today it is December 8th. We're going to be chatting all things AEW Dynamite, and this show was kind of wacky. It was kind of all over the place. We got a lot of information that we kind of have to sort through here today. So we're going to talk about all of that and more. We are officially en route to Winter is Coming. We got a big Rampage coming up this Friday. We got the end of the year stuff going on. We got announcements for AEW Revolution. I mean, it is information coming to us left and right. So we're going to go ahead and talk about AEW Dynamite in just a second. But before we get started, I do want to let you guys know that this is a very interactive show. If you are new here, please make sure you guys take part in the chat. I will try to read some of your comments. Additionally, if you guys are regulars, you already know the drill. Please feel free to send in super chats throughout the show. If you do, I will make sure to read your question, your comment, or your statement on this show. Additionally, all super chats do help me out because F4W does allow me to keep 100% of all the proceeds of super chats. So if you want to get yourself some attention on the show, that is the best way to do it. And guys, wow. All right, let's get to it. We kind of got a hell of a show because there's a lot that went down tonight. There was some stuff that I liked. There was some stuff that I kind of felt was just too much. And then there was other stuff where I was like, all right, this was cool. Let's see how this goes. And for the most part, I think that the show started off really, really really good, really crazy, and then it kind of mellowed out in the middle, but it still kind of kept it still was good enough to keep your interest. But then I thought that the show ended in a really, really exciting way. At least for me, I really liked how AEW Dynamite closed out here today. But let's go ahead and get some thoughts. Let's get some opinions. What did you guys think of the show? Go ahead and send in your thoughts. We got so much to get into, guys. So let's get to this, but I'm going to get a couple of comments here. This one is from Major Blood, who says, this was another great episode of Dynamite, but there was, I think I counted 4 post-match beatdowns. Seems a bit much, honestly. If you are sort of like not into seeing so many of these like post-match beatdowns, of all of these like post-match melees and all of this stuff that AEW is known for sometimes doing a little bit too much, there are shows where they find a nice, simple balance where it's really not that noticeable. This show was not one of them. We had so many post-match beatdowns, brawls, attacks, whatever you want to call them, a lot of swerves, a lot of this person betraying that person, a lot of, pretty much a lot of that. So if you are not into that, you kind of got a lot of that in this show, which is why I kind of felt to say that it was a little bit of a crazy show. We got a comment from Ebony Prince who says, this was a hell of a good show. Alex Lynn says, I enjoyed it, but there were definitely some parts that felt too packed. I would say that the part of the show that felt way too packed was the beginning of the show. And that was with the Dynamite, Diamond Battle Royale, like all of that kind of felt like there were a bunch of little things that if you missed it, you probably missed some key element of a storyline that you've been following for weeks that kind of ended up unraveling in this, opening match here. We got a comment from Church of Platinum who says, good show, but they need to stop kicking things off with promos. I do not mind that. I don't mind when the show kicks off with promos. That's definitely not an issue for me. Let's see what else we got here. We got a comment from Doppelganger 399 who says, Punk's promos were insanely good. We're going to get into that in just a second. But we got our first super chat of the day. This one is from Sebastian Mikulik, who says, Hook on Friday. Nothing else matters. So I screenshotted it because the second Taz made the announcement that Hook is going to be on Rampage, I screenshotted it and I just wrote, Hook, hit the hashtag, hit the send button. And if you want to see what a draw Hook is, go and look and see those retweets and likes that I got on that one post announcing, not announcing, but letting people know that Hook was essentially making his AEW in-ring debut, and people are going nuts. People are excited to see what Hook has to bring to the table. Thank you so much, Sebastian, for kicking us off here with the super chats. And we got another one from Flamethrower who says, forget Hook, we got to see Sue. Oh my God, we got to see Sue too. We got to see Trent. I mean, there's just so much to talk about, guys. We're going to get into that. Thank you so much to Flamethrower for also sending in that super chat. Additionally, I did get a super chat on Tuesday's show, which was last night, that I didn't get to read. I'm going to read it really quickly because it happened as I went off the air. It was from 554K, who says, I will always promote your Twitter to help you get to 50K. Have a great night. I appreciate 554K for sending that in to me. But let's do this, guys. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite. And we're going to go in a very nice chronological order since that seems to work best for people. The big question heading into this show was, are the people going to cheer MJF? Are they going to cheer MJF? Are they going to boo MJF? What is going to happen? Because right now in wrestling, you can definitely argue that MJF is the best heel that is out there. MJF is a heel all the time, not just on TV, but on social media, in interviews, etc. Whatever it is that MJF is doing, he is a freaking heel. And he's not even just like a heel that's like, just he tends to push the line. He tends to push the line, cross the line, and really make people, kind of get a little crazy there. There was, we just talked about a couple weeks ago, the whole, situation with the Britt Baker line. And there's been some lines that, really just that line that didn't necessarily land well with the audience. But other than that, like, MJF is one of the best heels that there is, period. So going into the show, it's like, is he going to get booed? Is he not going to get booed in Long Island? So we had CM Punk essentially fool the crowd. He comes out with the MJF theme song, and it ends up being CM Punk. And so the crowd's like, Jesus, like, everybody thought that it was going to be MJF and obviously reacted And so CM Punk comes out, and right away he lets everybody know that he is wearing the 4 Pillars shirt. But instead of having MJF as one of the pillars, it's Britt Baker. So he has the 4 Pillars shirt that is shading MJF. And then he basically kind of, he makes sure to kind of, he really does a really good job at pissing off the crowd, because he attacks their team, the Islanders, and he attacks them multiple times over and over again. Additionally, he starts trashing the city and telling them, like, this is your hero? This is your hero? Like, what kind of people are you if this is your hero? He tells them, like, your hero, MJF, the guy that you guys root for, he can't even accept me acknowledging a woman for her hard work without thinking that I want to get the TNA. And you guys all know what the TNA means. And I'm not talking about total nonstop action. There's a whole other story within that too. But anyways, there's layers to that joke. But I love this. So CM Punk comes out, essentially pisses off the crowd. He even says, like, my dog Larry has more balls than MJF and he's neutered, etc. This promo was good. He really did a good job at pissing off the live crowd. However, I will admit that this was not my favorite promo for CM Punk since he has returned. There was a portion of this promo where he lost me a little bit, mainly because I don't, I'm not from Long Island. I don't get a lot of these, references. So for me, as a TV viewer, I kind of felt a little bit lost in this promo, where I kind of felt that it could have been shortened up just a tad bit, hit all of the points you want to hit, but I kind of felt like a little bit of the promo did get just a tad bit redundant, but not enough for me to like lose excitement, but it did get a little bit redundant. But essentially, before we get into the Diamond Battle Royal, how did you guys feel about CM Punk's promo? And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the second portion of this, because then things kind of go like off the wall and so much stuff happens. All right. Vivek says, who is using your Twitter? Just saw your tweet about Revolution info. I tweeted that. I tweeted that before the show. Yeah, you scared me for a second. I was like, someone's using my Twitter account? I got terrified. I was like, oh no, I tweeted that out. Let's see what you guys are saying here. What did you guys think of CM Punk's promo? All right, this one is from R. Riggs, who says, makes sense that New York loves a heel. Look at their famous figures. Oh, Jesus. I didn't realize this was going to get political, but yeah, we'll see. My favorite part was the fact that we had people in the crowd, like I think tonight probably had some of the best signs, because there were all of these signs where I was just like, all right, this one's making me laugh. Like there's one, somebody had a sign of MJF as a little kid, and it was pretty funny. They had the better than you section signs. I really liked all of those. This is a comment from Jeremy, who says, CM Punk read the room and adapted the promo like a master. Yes, this promo was very, very meant for the live audience. Obviously, you still enjoyed as a TV viewer, but it was more so for that live audience to really get that reaction. So it was what it was here. And Ed Pump says, how ironic, we thought MJF would do this to CM Punk. So a lot of people thought that MJF was essentially going to pull this prank and come out to the CM Punk music in Chicago, and it ended up being the other way around. And I don't think very many people saw it coming. I definitely did not see it coming. And let's see what else we got here. This one is from Haj Gulashi, who says, so smart having CM Punk come out to MJF's music. If his music hit, he would have gotten a pop, and it would have been harder to turn things around. Really good stuff, guys. Really good stuff. This one's from Major Blood, who says, I was very shocked that MJF pretty much got the hometown cheer because he's pretty much a full-time heel. I wasn't. I really was not surprised. I think that it kind of makes him a bigger heel, that he's such a douche, right? Like MJF is such a prick on TV. Well, I mean, like the MJF persona is like such a douche, right? It kind of makes you more mad if you're not from Long Island and you see the guy getting cheered by his fellow people, because you're like, dude, what'd you do? Brainwash them? It's almost like master manipulator work, where it's like, oh man, we hate this guy, and look at this guy, he's getting cheered in his, hometown, etc. That kind of makes it a little bit better, and it kind of adds to like the heel persona of MJF a little bit more, at least in my opinion. So it was very cool to kind of see him get cheered, where it was like the crowd fed into it, like, yeah, he's a jerk, but he's our jerk. And you know what? At the end of the day, he's our jerk. It's great. I loved it. Let's see what you guys are saying here. I'm going to get some more comments. This one is a comment from official Matt Games, who says, I wasn't a huge fan of the Punk promo as a Brit. Most of it went over my head. This is what I mean. For a lot of people weren't necessarily going to be able to get into it as much, but the intention, I think, was to get the crowd all rowdied up for MJF, to really piss off people and get people like against CM Punk, so that there could be even more so of a reaction for MJF. Maybe there was a doubt, like, hey, is the crowd going to cheer for MJF, or are they not going to cheer for MJF? So for me, even though it lost me as a TV viewer, I think that it did its job. It did its purpose in getting the crowd, all riled up and whatnot. So I think for the most part, I did a pretty good job. And Doppelganger 399 says, Dave tomorrow. Great build for that Punk versus New York Islanders match. And there was even more references later on from Max Caster about the Islanders. So there you go. Alrighty, everybody. And I think we're going to go ahead and move on from this, because we still got so much more to talk about in this freaking Diamond Battle Royal. So much happened, okay? This is one of the parts where so much happened, all right? And I'm going to try to highlight some of the major points here. because there is a lot of little storyline stuff that is eventually going to keep adding to the storylines that we've already been seeing or stuff that we're going to be possibly seeing. So some of the stuff to point out, first and foremost, MJF's entrance. So prior to MJF coming out to this, they played a vignette where he is driving, I think it was a Ferrari, and he's driving in this Ferrari. He comes out in those really fancy shoes that he wears. He has his Letterman jacket, and he comes out onto the football field, and it's kind of, reminiscing being there. And at the same time, the voiceover is putting over all of these accomplishments for MJF, this a cappella stuff, this football stuff. And I was like, I didn't know any of these little tidbits. So for me, this was like all brand new. So MJF comes out, and I'm thinking to myself, he is so like, this is going to be kind of wild. So he comes out and he ends up mocking CM Punk in this entrance because he kind of does the exact same things that CM Punk did when he came into AEW. He comes out, MJF comes out, he gets on his knees, he has like the, oh my God, I'm here, I made it vibe. And then he even, goes into the crowd, has the moment where the crowd is, patting his back, cheering along with him. There's little girls in the audience cheering for him with their MJF song. It literally feels like we are in another dimension. We are in the freaking Twilight Zone because people are loving MJF and we're not used to it. So this was pretty cool to see. And I really did like that he mocked CM Punk the second that he came out by getting on his knees and doing all that other stuff that I just mentioned. All right, we got a couple of super chats. This one is from Sebastian, who says, I'm loving Wardlow's slow burn face turn. It had been a slow burn up until this point. I think that this was the final straw. If this does not get addressed, next week or, really close, a lot sooner, then what the hell is Wardlow thinking? At this point, this was the final straw, and we'll get to what happened in just a second, but thank you so much to Sebastian. We got another super chat from Reggie Simmons. Thank you so much to Reggie, who says, the show was nonstop. So much stuff happened. Gonna have to give it a second to watch. Gonna have to give it a second watch to catch everything. Jesus, yeah, there was a lot that happened on this show. Thank you so much to Reggie for sending in that super chat. Now, let's get into some of the stuff that actually happened in the match. All right, things I liked. Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, having those big, meaty dude interactions. That was freaking fantastic. We saw Lio Rush eliminate Powerhouse Hobbs. We saw Jay Lethal get eliminated right away. That was interesting too. And guys, if I forget anything, please send it in the chat because like I said, a lot of stuff went down in this here. So the main thing that I want to talk about, because this is something that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, is we've been seeing this, like we just mentioned, this slow burn of Wardlow, kind of getting irritated, getting fed up with MJF. We saw the whole accountability buddy, him sort of, shoving him to the side, telling him to look pretty. There's been some frustration, some little hints that Wardlow is not happy with MJF. And I think we were all expecting for Wardlow to finally snap and be like, that's it, I can't take it anymore, and kind of be the one to unleash on MJF. But instead, MJF was one of the people that helped eliminate Wardlow here tonight in this battle royale. So it's like, he didn't do it in a way that was like, I'm sick of you or anything like that. It was done in a way like, I want to win. And all these guys are trying to eliminate you. And by going in and getting, essentially helping that out, I'm helping myself. And we all know that MJF puts MJF first. So I really like the way that that was done because I did not see that coming at all during this, like at all. So I finally feel like we're finally picking up the pace with this Wardlow MJF feud because we didn't know how long it was going to go. We didn't know how long Wardlow was finally going to say, I've had it. And now Wardlow has a legitimate reason to be upset with MJF. So there definitely needs to be some quick follow up to all of this. And thank you. Jeremy points out that Jay Lethal got eliminated after getting knocked out by Matt Hardy. Yeah, that was pretty interesting here. All right. And then we do see Dante Martin. This is another thing that continues on. So Dante Martin had signed on with Team Taz and essentially left Lio Rush. And a lot of us were like, what the frick is going on? What is going on with Dante Martin? Is he a secret? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy, or is he a secret good guy? What the hell is going on with Dante Martin? I think for the most part, a lot of us couldn't really figure out, but we weren't really sure what the direction was in which they were going with this Team Taz Dante Martin storyline. Okay. So Dante Martin ends up eliminating Ricky Starks in this, and then Taz is literally losing his freaking mind, and he's like, he swerved us, he double crossed us, he signed a contract, and I am loving this. This was really freaking good. So now we'll talk more about Dante Martin in just a second here. Well, the final two, Dante Martin and MJF. So we are going to be getting Dante Martin and MJF in the finals over at Winter is Coming. But afterwards, this goes into even something more. So I freaking loved what they did at the closing of this. Now, I know that this feels very, very overbooked. However, because MJF played his part so well in this, I freaking loved it. For a second, keep in mind that MJF has been the biggest heel there is. And for more than a second, for a couple of seconds, I fully bought that MJF was going to be a baby face tonight. And I'm not just saying a baby face for the audience. No, a baby face in general, because post-match, we see Ricky Starks attack Dante Martin from behind. Okay, so he's attacking him. Dante Martin, is helpless, etc. Blah blah blah. And they put the camera on MJF, and MJF spends a good amount of time sort of debating, like, should I go out there? Should I go out there? And all of us normal people are thinking, he's debating, whether or not he's going to go help Dante Martin. We know he's a bad guy, but you know what? A part of him is probably thinking, maybe I should go help Dante Martin out. So a lot of us, me right here, thought that MJF was going to go out and help Dante Martin, but instead he goes out there and joins along with Ricky Starks in attacking Dante Martin. And that, for me, it sold it so well, because I really believed it. I bought into it. I really thought MJF was going to be a baby face for at least tonight, for this one moment. CM Punk then comes out. CM Punk comes out and helps out Dante Martin, and that's essentially how that closes out. So like I said, a lot of stuff happened in this whole, I think all of this probably took out, I don't even know, 30 something. I don't even know how long this was, guys. I lost track of time because I was trying to keep up with everything that was happening during this. So guys, send in your thoughts. How do you feel about all of this? Let's get some opinions here. This one is from Daniel Zambrano, who says, Dante was smart. He didn't want Team Taz after him. The Battle Royal played them while also standing up as a man to Lio. Dude leveled up hard. Yeah, I think so too. The vibe that I get is that Dante Martin, to me, the vibe that I get is he wants to be a loner. He doesn't want to be with Lio Rush. He doesn't want to be with Team Taz, unless I read, unless I read that wrong. That's what I got from this. Now, Dante Martin, I've mentioned this, he's a little tough to read, a little tough to gauge. He has very, very simple facial expressions, he's not a very animated person, so it is a little hard to read him sometimes. So I'm just like, I can't really tell where he's going with this. He's not an animated guy. In the ring, obviously there's a lot there, but facially, he's very simple. Thank you so much to Daniel Zambrano, BTW, for sending in that super chat. Let's get some thoughts here and let's see what people are saying. And Church of Platinum says Dante always looks so sad. He does, though. Yeah, I think for the most part, he kind of does look sad. He's got resting sad face. Yeah, resting sad face. That's what I'm calling it now. All right, let's see what we got here. This is coming from Major Blood, who says, I felt like Dante betraying Team Taz came a bit too soon, but maybe this will lead to Dante being only loyal to his brother. Hell, is Taz going to sue him? He signed a contract. Can he sue him? That's what contracts are for, right? Maybe we're going to go into some sort of, I don't know, civil disagreement. We'll see. Oh, I hope this doesn't do like a courtroom thing. Oh man, the last time we had a courtroom thing, remember the courtroom thing with like Otis and Miz? I think that was the last courtroom thing that I recall seeing in wrestling, unless I forgot something. This one's from Justin Martin, who says, loved MJF debating on whether to help Dante, only to run in and help Starks beat up Dante. Brilliant heel move. It was brilliant because he successfully fooled a lot of people, including myself. And this is a comment from Labor Days, who says, I did not think MJF was going to be a face. He wrestled like a heel. Yeah, but for that moment, I'm talking that moment where I thought that he was going to come out and help out Dante Martin. So we'll see. That was good stuff, guys. This is coming from Haji Galashi, who says, when MJF ran back in and then started wailing on Dante too, I laughed my ass off. It was brilliant. It was probably one of my favorite spots of the show here. This is a comment from Void After 12 p.m. who says, I'm here for Dante going scorched earth on everyone. Jesus. All right, let's get some more comments in here and see what people are saying. Let's see. This is a comment from 554K, who says, I mean, MJF could be a good babyface, but it would take a getting used to because he is such a natural heel. Here's the thing. Like, I don't want MJF to be a babyface. Like, I don't want him to, because you don't find MJFs every day, okay? MJFs don't grow on trees, all right? They do not grow on trees. I don't mind if we get a heel MJF for like ever. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that, honestly, because he does a good job. Like, he's not your everyday generic heel. I think he's a little bit more than that. So for me, like, I'm cool with that, you know? I'm cool with that. All right. We also got Wrestle War, who says MJF should never, ever be a face. I can't even, like, can you imagine when that moment does happen that everybody's going to be like, shit? I think it's going to be like a big pop when that does happen. And this is a comment from Mario Morales, who says MJF is a face. Everyone likes him too much, just like Britt. Well, but it's different. It's different, guys. Like, it's different. I don't know how to explain it. Let's move on. All right. Let's see what we got here, guys. Before we move on, this is kind of where the show gets a little bit more tame. Things get just a little bit more subtle, but then we kind of like, there's still a lot to talk about there. But before we move on, I just want to remind you guys all that I am going to be back next week. Next week, I will be here to talk about NXT 2.0 on Tuesdays. We had a big show last night. Obviously, Johnny Gargano's goodbye. Kyle O'Reilly's goodbye. You guys can catch the replay of that on here. And then additionally, I will be back again next week, because next week is Winter is Coming. And apparently, I didn't even realize that next week was already the week. In my mind, this show was still at least 2 weeks away. I don't know what I was thinking. And when they announced that Winter is Coming is next week, I was like, shit, where am I mentally? Where am I? But here we go. Let's get into this. And then also for next Friday, I will be back again to do SmackDown and Rampage. I will not be here this week to do SmackDown and Rampage, guys. So we'll find out. I'll see what I do. All right. 8-man tag. We had Jungle Boy Luchasaurus teaming up with the Varsity Brothers, Brian Pillman Jr., Griff Garrison. They took on 2.0 and Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. This was fun, guys. This was a pretty fun match. I thought that the reason why I liked this match was because we got to see all of the baby faces go in there and get their stuff in. Like, they all went in there, had their moment. It was entertaining. It was good stuff. But I do want to take a second in this match, because usually these types of matches, there's always, for me, at least one or two people that really take the match to the next level, or they stand out more so than they probably have in the past. So this time, for this match, for this 8-man tag, I want to take a second to put over Griff Garrison, because he was the guy in this match that, for me, he stood out more so than a lot of the other guys in this match. And the reason for that is, dude, he came in here and he kind of felt like a little bit more hard hitting, just more of a presence. I really like when he did, that over the top rope spot. I thought that was a lot of fun. There was a moment where he had like a really good, he had like a really killer forearm, and for some reason that was enough to make me go, oh wow, I like this. I'm already a fan of his. I'm already a fan of like, the team in general, but I just kind of felt that he felt a little bit more noticeable today is what I'm trying to get at here. So I like this. I thought he was impressive. Anthony Bowens as well, guys. He's somebody that I feel has been impressive in pretty much all of his matches, but he continued to do so again today. He had a great pug kick during this match. I like this. We got to see Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston essentially came out, took out Daniel Garcia. If you guys recall, 2.0 and Daniel Garcia attacked Eddie Kingston, and they also attacked Chris Jericho. This was Eddie Kingston essentially getting his revenge. In the end, we had Jungle Boy lock in the snare trap on Anthony Bowens and get the win here. Now, the other thing that I do want to bring up is, and I don't know, like, maybe I'm just noticing things or what, but I really want to credit AEW for something. And the thing I really want to credit them for is that I feel they've been doing a phenomenal job at getting Jungle Boy's snare trap over. His snare trap has been, for me, highlighted a little bit more so than maybe it was before. Like for me, I feel like they've been putting more of a focus on it where he's constantly, winning matches with the snare trap. I just feel like there's been more of a focus on the snare trap, and that makes me excited because they're getting it over. They're getting the move really, really over. And so I do want to give them like a shout out for that. And I like that. Like I noticed, good stuff right there. And eventually this will probably play out in whatever he continues doing, moving forward. So I like this. I'm trying to think if I got anything that I didn't. Oh, yeah. So after this, we did see all the guys essentially brawl backstage with Eddie Kingston, and that ended up being one of the other like post-match melee things that we saw go down. At this point, when I saw this backstage brawl, I thought, yep, this show is just chaos, because at this point, all we were getting was chaos. We'll move on in just a second, but I do want to get a couple of your thoughts, guys. Friendly reminder, if you do want to send in a super chat, they really do help me out. F4W Online does allow me to keep 100% of all proceeds. If you do send in a super chat, thank you. But let me get some comments in here and see what people are saying here. And let's see. What are people saying in regards to this match? This one's from Andrew Cook, who says, I think after the match stuff was setting up Kingston and Santana and Ortiz versus 2.0 and Daniel Garcia, I'm down for that match. We did. Thank you so much for mentioning that, because we did get a tease of Eddie Kingston and Santana and Ortiz. And dude, I am so here for that. All right. You all know, and I haven't said this in the last like couple of streams because I haven't had the opportunity, it hasn't came up, but you all know that Santana and Ortiz are my favorite freaking tag team ever. Not just in AEW, not just right now, not like ever, all time. So hell yeah. I'm all for anything that involves Santana and Ortiz, and especially with Eddie Kingston. And we all know that they're all like badass, MFers. So yeah, they would make a really good team up there. And all right, guys, let's see what else we got here. If we have any comments on this. This one's from Cameron, who says, finisher should always be protected. If it's done, the match ends. The only way they have someone kick out of a finisher is when it really means something. Amen. Cameron Mumford hitting us with that Wrestling 101. Thanks, bro. Let's see what else we got here. This one is from Centrovert, who says, Eddie came out, got a nice pop, the pure chaos, him bringing the camera backstage and yelling at it, but wasn't audible. It felt like pure pandemonium, Attitude Era style. Yeah, I don't know if it was me or what. This one was obviously, the audio wasn't audible. Like I could not tell you what Eddie Kingston said. I just saw his mouth moving, but I kind of had trouble with audio throughout the entire show. For some reason, I just couldn't really hear things. That may be a me thing. I don't even know if it was a me thing or like a generic thing, but this one for sure was the AEW thing with the audio. But it was cool though. It made sense. Like, why would the audio be pitch perfect? That was something that was not planned. It does add to it. I like that. It adds to the edginess of the show. So I appreciated that. And let's see what else we got. Twitch face says MFers, Eco Max, Friedman, Earth. Thanks, bro. I had that moment where I was like, do I say MFers? When you get lost in a thought, that's what happened to me. And I thought about it too much. So that's what came out. You guys get whatever comes out is what you guys get. All right. And let's see what else we got here. Let's go ahead and jump into our next topic here. After this, we had FTR challenging Lucha Bros to a match at Rampage. I've lost track of how many times we've seen this match, guys. I'll be real with you. I love the FTR. I love the Lucha Bros, but I've seen this match a good amount of times. So for me, it's kind of like thumbs up. I'm not going to lose my mind over it. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, it's happening. No, I don't feel like that. Let's move on to this next match. The Young Bucks versus Rocky Romero and Chuck Taylor. Jesus Christ, we had a lot go down in this match, okay? All right. First and foremost, shout out to freaking Rocky Romero, who I adore. A really good guy, guys. Big fan of Rocky's. I'm very happy to see him on AEW again. Really nice guy, by the way. Anyway, so things that I freaking loved in this match is that it started out good. It stayed good. And then it built into something where it was one moment and I know you can say this a lot about every Young Bucks match, that it kind of feels like there's just stuff coming in every direction, but it was good. It was entertaining. At the start of this match, I loved all of the arm drags that we saw from Chuck Taylor on Matt Jackson. Those were really nice. Chuck Taylor hits a really nice tope con hero. That was pretty cool. There was a moment where we see them go to the outside. We see the Bucks super kick Chuck Taylor. We see Rocky Romero go to the top rope. He tries to do a crossbody. They catch him and they end up super kicking him as well. That was pretty awesome. We saw a really cool senton on Chuck Taylor from the Bucks on the outside. Then they hit him with another one inside the ring. So it was back to back. We saw a pretty awesome Hurricanrana from Rocky Romero. And then there's a moment where the referee, where Brandon Cutler distracts the referee, and a shit ton of action and commotion. If you want to count this as a melee, it kind of counts as one, because you see the Bucks, you see Rocky Romero, Orange Cassidy, Adam Cole, and they're all basically freaking going nuts behind the referee's back. And then from this point on, the match got even. It kind of went to another level, which was really, really exciting. It picked up more speed. It got a lot faster. We saw the Bucks in the end win with the Meltzer driver. And then post-match continues on, guys. I told you, this show was wait, there's more in every single segment. Post-match, we see Wheeler Yuta essentially come beeline straight to Adam Cole, tries to attack him, but they end up taking him out. So afterwards, we see Sue roll up in her car, and Trent is officially back. And this was the cutest freaking thing ever, because she drops him off. He gives her I gotta go to school now, mom. And makes his way out there, goes in, makes his return, makes his comeback, helps out his friends, helps out his guys. And then afterwards, you see Sue come out in the ring with Chris Statlander. They all get in there and they're all hunging it out to Roppongi Vice. Really good stuff. This was fun. They all hugged. It was sweet. Trent looked completely different to me. I almost didn't recognize him if his mom wasn't with them. If they would have been like Sue, I would have been like, who's this? Who's that? He looked really freaking great. He came out here and to me, he kind of looked more, I don't know what's the word, masculine. He just looked badass. He looked more legit. I don't know. Somebody has a better word. Please, by all means, Send it over. This was good stuff here, guys. Let's see what we got here. We got Labor Days putting over the Roppongi Vice song. Hell yeah. And this is Church of Platinum, who says, I didn't recognize Trent without his legendary headband. Dude, I couldn't. I was like, huh? Like for a split second, I did not really have like that recollection. Dude, yes. Pomi Wrestling, send Trent doing his best Blade Moxley impression. No, I thought he looked like the Blade. Yes, for a second, he looked like the Blade. Yes, I agree with this statement, guys. Really agree with that statement. The Chilean guy says Trent looks and arrives like Moxley. Nah, he gave me more of like the Blade vibes. Honestly, that's more of like the vibe that I got. And let's see what we got here. This is from Justin Martin, who says only Trent could ride in the arena in a minivan with his mom, then beat up everyone like a monster. Great to see him back. Yeah, it was really nice, guys. It was a good moment, guys. Really, really good moment. And this is a comment from Andrew, who says Rocky Romero looked great in the match. I hope we see more of him in AEW. I'm pretty sure we will. We saw him just a while back, and then he was like automatically back like right away. So that was cool. And all right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and move on here. This one's from M. Durrett, who says, say what you want, but Rampage is just so damn entertaining. Rampage is a good show, guys. It's a fun, nice hour of wrestling. And this episode of Rampage has a lot of really good stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. Penelope Ford, the Bunny, and Nyla Rose essentially make a challenge to Ruby Soho, or should I say Ruby Solo. They make fun of her for not having friends. They tell her she needs 2 friends, and then they make fun of her for not having 2 friends. It's later announced who those friends are going to be. We'll talk about that in a second. But they all essentially jump Ruby. My favorite part of this was that while they were all attacking Ruby Soho, there was a split second where you see Vicky Guerrero come in behind Nyla Rose, and then you see Vicky Guerrero get a freaking she kicks Ruby. Like, it was just so funny. Like, she snuck in like a kick on her. That was like the one thing that like completely sold me on this segment. We get another interrupted promo. Sammy Guevara is out there. He's on the stage getting interviewed by Tony Schiavone. And the way I see it now is if anybody is being interviewed in like the stage area, don't expect an interview. Someone's going to come out and interrupt said person. And he gets interrupted by the biggest babyface, the fan favorite of wrestling for 2021, everyone's hero, your best friend, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out and basically calls himself the good guy. He even says, quote, from one good guy to another good guy. And everyone's like, oh, this guy. He has the burns from the table spot from the week prior. And he basically says that he wants a title shot. He's going to get the title shot against Sammy Guevara. I'm curious to what you guys think about this. How do you feel about Cody essentially challenging for the bout to, first, against Sammy Guevara, who is the champion? Before we move on to the Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky stuff, how did you guys feel about this here? And this is going to be interesting, guys. I'm very curious to see what we got. This is from Centrovert, who says, say what you want about Cody, but he gets a reaction. And I think now, and I've said this on my past show, now they're just playing with the crowd, guys. They're playing with us. They're toying with us. They know that a lot of people are not fans of Cody. Either people are legitimately not fans of Cody, or there's people that just like to play along with it. And they're like, yeah, I'm not going to cheer for Cody. And they go with it. So now I think it's like a thing, it's a thing. M. Durrett also points out that Cody faked going down the heel ramp. He did like a taunt where he was like walking one direction and then kind of went like, and turned around and went the opposite direction. So that was pretty funny as well. And we got a super chat from Marcus8915. Thank you so much to Marcus, who says, the best type of world title matches are the ones you don't know who will win or what to expect. Danielson versus Hangman will be amazing. I'm definitely expecting Hangman Page to win. There is no doubt in my mind that he is going to he's definitely going to win. I'm not expecting him to lose whatsoever, but it's going to be a phenomenal match. I'll tell you that right now. I'm expecting a phenomenal match, but I do not expect Hangman Page to lose his title. No way. No way. I think a lot of people would riot. Thank you so much to Marcus, though, for sending in this super chat here. And let's see what we got here. The Cooch97 says, love how Cody is working everybody into a frenzy. We're getting worked, guys. We're getting worked. And it's working. Major Blood says Sammy is over his house, so I would say he's a big enough face. And yeah, he is. I think Sammy is definitely he definitely is. John Smith says, how long until the greatest you people promo from Cody? Cody's a great promo. If he wanted to cut a great you people promo, I'm sure he could. This is a comment from Mac who says, as a legit non-fan of Cody, I thought it was okay. I don't care if he's a heel or not. I just don't like him, so I'm not invested. Honestly, I just personally, I just think there needs to be like, you either go full on heel with him, and I've said this like a million times, or you just take a break. You take a break. We don't see Cody for a bit. He does his thing, comes back. I'm pretty sure he'll have like a nice reaction from the people once like a good amount of time goes by. But then again, who knows? But I think now they're just playing with it, guys. They are just playing with us. And let's see. All right, let's go ahead and move on from this now. And really quickly, we did have Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page essentially get all freaking pissed off because they want the title shot. The one thing that I noticed about this, which was the funniest thing to me, was that one fan that got caught literally like right in between them and was like caught in the spotlight during this promo. It was hilarious because he noticed it on the big screen, and you can tell that like he didn't know what to do, and then like he ended up just hiding behind the shadows. That was my favorite part. We got a super chat from 554K. Thank you so much for sending this in. He says, quote, yeah, I think they should turn Cody heel, but since he keeps acting like he is going to go through the heel tunnel on the ramp, so it might happen soon. I just think they're just messing with the crowd now, guys. It's a tug of war between Cody and AEW and the fans. Thank you so much for sending in that super chat. All right, let's jump into, we got a quick vignette between Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill, and we know that they're eventually, getting work towards this match. I don't think they've announced when this match is happening, though, because I know it's not happening on Rampage. They haven't announced it for Winter is Coming, so as of right now, I don't think they've announced when it's happening. When is it happening? Someone correct me, please. Anyways, but in this promo, she basically, Thunder Rosa says that Jade was corrupted by money and that she has no respect for anybody. And Jade says this is a bad bitch show. And that's pretty much it. I like this promo, though. I like this vignette. I like the interactions between Jade Cargill and Thunder Rosa because they are polar opposite. And Thunder Rosa brings a lot of realism and a lot of attitude to what she does. So it also helps elevate Jade Cargill in that sense. So they're elevating each other during this. And thank you, guys. People don't expect it to actually, nobody has said that they've actually given a date yet. Okay, cool. I was afraid that I missed that. I tend to miss things every now and then. All right, dude, next match, Jamie Hayter versus Riho. I like this match. Holy shit, this was fun. This was a fun match. There were some moments that were not the best execution of things, but overall, I thought this match was fun. And I'm not gonna I can't say okay, let's talk about this match. Let's break it down. Let's talk about what happened here. So the major focus of this story was we have this size advantage or size disadvantage rather against Riho. Riho is a tiny girl and she's going up against Jamie Hayter, who's, has more of a size advantage on Riho. And so throughout this match, you literally see Jamie Hayter practically try to find all these ways to break Riho in half. You see Riho basically pulling out every single thing that she possibly has in her to essentially get the win over Jamie Hayter. This was a fun story. We see Riho right away go for a shoulder tackle, and she literally doesn't even shake Jamie Hayter's core. You just see Jamie Hayter is literally like a wall, a brick wall next to Riho. And I don't know how tall Jamie Hayter is. I know she's way taller than me because I think even Riho's taller than me. Anyways, but I don't know how tall she is, but next to Riho, she looked like giant, next to her. But we see Riho do the 619. We see her hit a crossbody. And then unfortunately, she does one to the outside of the ring as well, another crossbody. And I don't know if Jamie Hayter just did not catch her. It was really, really, it did not look good. I don't know if Jamie Hayter really didn't catch her or if Riho just didn't get the right, the right position in to actually be able to land onto Jamie. So it was a really, really bad camera angle and a really, really bad, it didn't work out. It wasn't executed very nicely. It did not look good. That was the crossbody to the outside, the second crossbody that we saw after this. And then afterwards, there was a moment too where Jamie Hayter literally grabs Riho and tosses her smack into the turnbuckle, the bottom turnbuckle, and practically bends Riho in half. I really like this. That was a brutal spot, and Riho sold the crap out of it. I really enjoyed that. We saw a nice dragon suplex from Riho. That was fun. And then Jamie hits her with a backbreaker. And so when she does this backbreaker, it was probably one of the most impressive ones that I've seen in recent times. Just again, because of the way Riho kind of looked when she took it, it literally looked like she got bent like a little light. It was pretty epic. She hit the code red. I thought that it was over there. She goes for the double foot stomp off the top rope. I thought it was over then too. It was not. She finally hits the crucifix bomb on Jamie. That crucifix bomb was not executed very well either, but it still made an impression. We end up seeing Riho get the win here. Post-match, Britt Baker comes in. She attacks her, gets the lockjaw in on her. But even though there were a couple of spots, really that crossbody and that crucifix bomb where I was kind of like, ooh, that didn't look good, this match was fun. I was so into it. They had me really invested during this match. So what did you guys think? Send in some thoughts. We actually got some super chats. Thank you so much to Sebastian McCulloch, who says, all I want for Christmas is Chris Statlander versus Hayter, Jamie Hayter, Haas feud. Yeah, dude. First of all, Chris Statlander, I feel she's underrated. She is somebody that I have become a big fan of, and I want to see her do more stuff. I feel whenever she's in the ring, she holds her ground and she has pretty decent matches. So I do want to take a second to put her over. And we actually got another super chat from Cheeky Monkey. Thank you so much. Who says, how does Riho pack so much talent into 99 pounds? The way she took that backbreaker hurt me down my soul. Hell yeah, dude. You know those freaking light sticks, the ones that you snap and they those glow in the dark sticks, those ones. That is exactly what Riho looked like when she took that backbreaker. And then following it was good. It was really good. Thank you so much to Cheeky Monkey for sending in that super chat. I really, really thank you for that. We got another one from Killer Mike. Thank you so much to Killer Mike, who says, I love this match. Huge fan of Riho already, but the last couple of months, I've loved every one of Jamie's matches as well. Jamie sells the diving crossbody so well. Here's the thing. Thank you so much for reminding me. Your super chat reminded me of something that I wanted to get at. The thing that I particularly like about the fact that we're going to see Riho and Britt Baker again, obviously this is not the first time, not the second time that we've seen them, but I don't mind it because we've been talking about the lack of really these really credible challengers to go up and face Britt Baker for the belt. And, right now we sort of had a lot of the women on the roster sort of distracted because they've been doing the TBS tournament for the TBS championship. So it's kind of felt like there hasn't really been somebody for Britt Baker. But now the way that they built Riho in all of this, and given the backstory that Britt Baker has never been able to beat her, and that they really keep hammering that home over on commentary, it's added so much to this Riho Britt Baker story. And the fact that they're giving Riho all of these impressive wins, this being one of them, and they also gave them a pretty lengthy match. I didn't check to see how long it ran or anything like that, but it felt like a lengthy match. It felt like a good amount of time where we were able to see a full story be told and a really nice match out of it. So with that being said, I feel like they've done a really good job at getting people re-interested in this story with Riho and Britt Britt Baker. So I, for one, think that this one was a win, and how they've been executing this for Riho has been a win, considering that this really all came about the fact that she was never eliminated during that women's casino battle royale at All Out. And now this ended up leading to something, because if it wasn't for what they were doing with Riho right now, I don't even know who they would have Britt Baker essentially, have a match with. I mean, obviously there's options, but there's options that are believable and options that are not just yet believable so far. I'm expecting Britt Baker obviously to win, but I think Riho is definitely a good opponent. Jamie Hayter, the first thing that I've noticed, or the thing that I've been noticing, is that she immediately kind of had that fan base from people. She was an instant likable person. Like instantly, the second she came in, people were like, yep, I'm a fan of Jamie Hayter. She won over people pretty fast. I love this. I love the dynamic of this match. Thank you so much to Killer Mike 375 for that awesome super chat, BTW. We got another one from Sebastian, who says Riho is 3-0 versus the Good Doctor. Thank you so much for sending that in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much to Sebastian. All right, guys. This next one, I don't know why this happened. What did I miss? What did I miss? Why did Malachi Black come out and put mist in freaking Julia Hart's face? Who in their right mind wants to do that to Julia? And why? Someone explain this to me. I don't know what's going on here. This was freaking random. This was so random. I was like, what the frick is going on? But I will tell you this much. It garnered so much freaking sympathy. I was like, no, not Julia. No. It was like the one moment in the movie where you see like the person that, doesn't harm anything, doesn't make people upset. The lovable person in the story gets misted in the face. This was messed up, man. I don't like Malachi Black for this. Piss me off. How dare you do that to Julia? Labor Day says, because he's evil. He is evil. Was messed up. Lord Pelagius says he's an 80s slasher film villain. Wrestle War says Black is just randomly attacking people now. It was. Pile Driver Finisher says her screaming was vicious. Sebastian says justice for Julia. Labor Day says Julia Sal was A++. She was so cute. Like, she's just on the floor covering her face up. And I'm like, damn. Like, what is going on? Let's see what else we got here. And this one's from Andrew Cook, who says, Malachi Black has talked about wanting to build a House of Black stable. I think this was the beginning of the part of that. But why? I don't get it. Darian Buss says that was a weird spot. It was. Okay, let's say he wants to build this stable. So what? He's going to miss Julia Hart in the face? And then that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me. Someone explain the logic here, please. Robert says Malachi knows something that you don't know, clearly. Gerald says, love the miss spot, so random. Hope this breaks up the Varsity Blondes. What? Why? I don't want the Varsity Blondes to break up. No, they're so, no, you got something there. Keep them going a little bit longer. I do not want the Varsity Blondes to break up. No, please, no. Jesus. No. Jeremy Jimenez says the Malachi Black thing made no sense whatsoever. Dude, I was sitting there and I thought, Jesus Christ, what am I missing on these? Like, what? I personally thought that I missed something. I'm like, I didn't see a promo. I didn't see a vignette. Something must have happened on social media. One of those things where like, if they don't show it on TV, I didn't see it. I'm a TV audience person. If it doesn't happen on TV, I'm not going to know about it. All right. So this was a little bit out there. The Centrovert says maybe a feud with Pillman versus Malachi. In any case, I hope they use this to keep Malachi as a loner. Yeah, I can see this more so as like a feud. Okay. Obviously there has to be, her buddies, they need to get her revenge. They need to help her against Malachi Black. It ain't going to be Julia versus Malachi Black. Somebody's got to have her back, and it's clearly going to be freaking Griff and freaking Brian Pillman Jr. But the question is, why? Why, though? We got no answers here. And let's see what we got here. William Pickham says to set up a tag team and Abaddon for House of Black, ? I think I had a couple of people on Twitter mention Abaddon as well. And, they haven't really done, they used her for that Halloween episode, but we haven't really seen her like on Dynamite or Rampage or anything like that. Alex Lynn says Julia is going heel. Is it one of those things where like you get bit by a zombie, so like now you're a zombie? You get misted by Malachi Black and now you go heel? No. Julia's like literally like she's probably like the most non-heel person that they have on AEW. Literally. I can't see it. I can't see it. Thank you. This sounds like a good explanation. This one's from Al Profe Jr. 88, who says, Black wants to corrupt Purest of Heart, so he chose Julia Hart. See, that makes a little bit more sense to me. If he comes out and explains that makes sense to me because I can see that. I like that explanation. I want that explanation. Sam3 says he put a spell on Julia. Jesus. Haj Gulasi says he quoted on Twitter the fool. This card in tarot stands for childlike innocence and new beginnings. I did not see that. I didn't. I told you, if it doesn't happen on TV, I'm not going to see it, guys. Like, I don't keep up with like a lot of like the storyline stuff on social media. Believe it or not, I don't keep up with that. Shocking, I know. Okay, I like that. Thank you so much for sending that in. That's good to know. That's good information to have right there. All right, Ants. Let's see what we got. We got a super chat. Thank you so much to Gustavo. Gustavo Salcedo, thank you so much for sending this a super chat, who says, I don't really see this as that big of a deal. So long as they provide an explanation soon, that I'm okay with a sudden feud start. Yeah, they got to provide an explanation, or else it's like everybody should be afraid. Like, what the hell? We all know Julia Hart didn't do anything to Malachi Black. Like, it makes no sense other than we got to go somewhere with this. Thank you so much, Gustavo, for sending in this super chat. We got another one from Sebastian, who says the purest of hearts is Fuego. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Thank you so much for that. Labor Day says AEW relies on a lot of the side content. They do. And a lot of the fans obviously, take that all in. It's harder for me to keep up with all of that stuff because shit, like I got a bunch of other stuff going on, but I really do try to keep up. That's why I tell people, tag me and stuff, please. I always come on to these shows and people bring up like, oh, did you see this? And I'm like, nope, I did not see that. Tag me. I tell the people, if you see something interesting, tag me in it. I will see it if you tag me. All right, let's go. The Cooch 97 says AEW makes you do your research. Love the educational side of it. My goodness. All right. Let's go ahead and hop into, we got a couple more stuff to talk about, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Let's talk about that Rampage lineup because it looks pretty damn good. We got Lucha Brothers versus FTR for the tag titles. It's going to be a good match. I don't really care for it, to be honest. Cena, been there, done that. Cool. I want to move on. Ruby Soho, Ty Conti, and Anna Jay will be facing off against Nyla Rose, The Bunny, and Penelope Ford. That should be fun. Good. Get the women some matches. I'm all here for that. Adam Cole versus Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta has had an interesting time in AEW. So I have a feeling that this is going to continue. The L's for Wheeler Yuta are going to continue. But hopefully we get a good match out of this. I'm expecting that we will. And then we have the AEW in-ring debut of Hook, who is literally blowing up my Twitter mentions because people are losing their minds that we're finally going to see Hook wrestle. People are really excited about this. And who is he wrestling? He's wrestling Fuego del Sol. People are excited. All right, that one's gonna be fun. Winter is coming. We got that next week, December 15th, Wednesday, special edition of Dynamite. Winter is coming. It'll be MJF versus Dante Martin, and we're gonna have Serena Deeb versus Hikaru Shida. That should be fun too. That's gonna be a banger of a match. Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Title. That's going to be another really good match, and I'm expecting Hangman Page to win. If he doesn't, I would be shocked, really, really shocked. We also got information for AEW Revolution. We got our location. I don't think they had given the dates yet. I hadn't seen the dates, so I'm pretty sure this was also the date reveal. But we had AEW Revolution is going to be taking place on March 6th of this year. Next year. February. No, oh my gosh. March 6th. Sorry, guys. I'm so used to Revolution being announced for February dates. Orlando, Florida, the Edition Arena. AEW Rampage will be on the 4th. Then they're going to have Fan Fest on the 5th. And then that Sunday, March 6th, is going to be AEW Revolution. So that's going to be in Orlando, Florida. I'm hoping to be there. I got to look at my calendar, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be there. So we'll see what goes down. But we got a super chat from Kareem Hassan. Thank you so much to Kareem, who says, wrestling has never made me cry, but I started tearing up when they put up the Hook versus Fuego graphic. Now we know why Hook was eating all of those potato chips. We finally got the answer. He was getting ready. He was bulking up with them potatoes to make it for his in-ring debut. It's very exciting stuff. Thank you so much to Kareem for sending in this super chat. I thank you. We got another one from Andrew Cook. Thank you so much to Andrew, who says, Denise, I saw you at Mission Pro at Thunder Rosa's vlog. It looked like you fit in there really well. Will you be working with them more? So in case you guys did not know, I am officially part of the commentary team for Thunder Rosa's Mission Pro, and I'm very, very excited. I've done one show so far, which is the one that you saw on Thunder Rosa's blog, and that was very, very exciting. It's a very nice team of people there. I'm very, very happy to be part of it. I got all of my dates already set up for next year. That's why I said I had to look at my calendar, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be open because Thunder Rosa's not going to book shows on the same day as AEW, obviously. So that's how I know for sure my date is open. But, either way, I'm still going to double check. But yeah, and you can watch all of those BTW, all of those shows, Mission Pro shows. You can watch them on Title Match Network. They do have a show this weekend, December 11th. I will be in Texas. I'm pretty excited. I'll be traveling to Texas, and so we're going to have a show December 11th, and I'll be doing commentary. It'll be great. Title Match Network. Thank you so much, Andrew, for sending in the super chat. We got another one from 554K. Thank you so much for sending this in. 554K says, great review post show as always. Thanks for giving all the great content and for reading my super chat from the other night. Have a great night. Thank you. Usually, like, for the most part, I don't miss any super chats. However, if you send them like in the last like couple of seconds, because I will still be live on YouTube, even though my stream has already ended, because I'm ahead of you guys. So there's like a little bit of a delay. So if I click end broadcast and that YouTube super chat comes in, I'll be like, damn. So I hate when that happens, but I save them and read them for the following shows. All right, last match, Bryan Danielson versus John Silver. I'm gonna need this match again in the near future because this match was freaking awesome. This was my favorite match of the night. This was the best match that Bryan Danielson has had with any of the Dark Order members. This was freaking good stuff. I think that John Silver is somebody that anytime he goes out there, he shows what he can bring to the table, and I think he recognized the opportunity that he had today. He's main eventing Dynamite against Bryan freaking Danielson. You swear he's not going to bring it. He totally brought it during this match. This was really fun. You see all of the strikes between them. That was really cool. And you kind of see Silver sort of surprise Bryan Danielson a little bit there. Like, Bryan Danielson was kind of like taken aback a little bit by Silver. Obviously, it wasn't enough to get the win, but for Bryan Danielson, it made for a pretty exciting story to see unveil here. There was a moment where you see Silver lock him in a submission, and there's a moment where where Bryan Danielson is literally kicking him in the head, trying to get out of it. And Silver's just like sticking out his tongue, taunting at him. That was freaking fantastic. We see some really awesome German suplexes from John Silver. Really like those. Brought a lot of aggression. Really good stuff. Then we see Bryan Danielson literally snap, and he just starts freaking giving all of these elbows to John Silver, like right into the side of his head and his jaw and his ear, and is just getting him with several elbows. That was really, really good stuff. He ends up hitting him with the Gotch style pile driver and knocks him out and gets the win. This was fantastic. I really love this match. I want to see this match again in the near future because this was really good stuff. In the end, we see him essentially continue on attacking Silver. So Hangman Page comes out, attacks him, and Danielson ends up leaving. And that is how we end up seeing Hangman Page closing out the show. That's pretty much AEW Dynamite. So what did you guys think of Danielson and Silver? Did you guys like it as much as I did? Send me some thoughts, guys. Jeremy says Silver stepped up nicely. Darren says John Silver is a rising star, needs a singles run. Yeah, I kind of feel like sometimes he's not forgotten about, but he needs a little bit more of that, like, I don't know. They need to make sure that we get to see him in singles action a little bit more on Dynamite and Rampage, because he really brings his A game, guys. Really brings his A game. So I do want to see that. This one is from Labor Days. It says that the pile driver was perfect execution. Bryan is the finest in-ring performer. Oh, hell yeah. He's definitely one of the best out there, period. Labor Day thinks that too much comedy kind of holds him back. I get what you mean. Sometimes I know there's a lot of criticism for people that do the comedy stuff, that they kind of get held back a little bit. But when you're seeing the guy go out there, and when he's one of the most impressive guys that they have, a lot of the, younger, newer faces, I feel like you got to highlight that, man. You got to reward that. And I think that Silver definitely needs to, they need to keep going with Silver. They really need to keep going. Even if he does, like, the comedy stuff for me doesn't bother me. Like, that's personality. I want to see personality. That stuff works for me. Alex Lynn says, I love John Silver, but I feel like he's too much comedy right now, and it was hard to believe that his strikes hurt more than Suzuki's, for example. 100%. And no one's going to buy that. But in terms of, like, the other guys, the other Dark Order guys, I think he had the best match with Bryan Danielson. Obviously, I'm not going to compare him to the level of Suzuki, because not a lot of guys are at the level of Suzuki, but I still thought that was a pretty awesome, like, an awesome match. So I hope that the comedy thing doesn't hold him back. I really hope it doesn't. Thank you so much to Alex for sending in that comment in here. And this one's from Dale Erazi, who says, this match was the best ending to set up that championship match, since Silver is one of the most loved Dark Order members. Yep, 100% agree with that as well. And Andrew Cook says, if Silver can show his serious side in the ring, then people could get really behind him. I'm like, the comedy stuff doesn't bother me. If you go out there and you put on good wrestling, I'm okay with you being this funny person. I'm 100% okay with that. At the end of the day, if you go out there and you put on a good match, I like that. Like, I kind of prefer that over somebody that's going to go out there and, like, be boring as hell, have, like, a generic match and no like personality. I prefer somebody that is, like, funny and comedic and could go out there and have a good match, versus somebody that's, like, bland and generic and putting on a decent match but has no character. I like the character. I love the personality. So I hope we do get to see Silver get a little bit more light shined on him. Alrighty, guys, there you go. That is our show here today. I want to thank you guys so much, as always. I ask you guys, please help me spread the word about this show. I'm trying to grow the show more and more. It would really mean a lot to me, guys. If you ever see me promote the show, please, if you can, drop a like, drop a retweet, give a thumbs up, whatever. Spread the good word about the show. I really am trying to grow it more and more. Additionally, I will be back on Tuesday. Do not forget, I will be here to talk about NXT 2.0. So if you guys want to talk about it, you guys are more than welcome to come in. If not, I will see you back here next week for Winter is Coming coverage. Please, guys, I have a lot going on my YouTube channel. I just posted up an interview with Jonah, formerly known as Bronson Reed. That interview is right now up on my YouTube channel. We had a really great half-hour conversation where we really get into the WWE release, and we have this really nice conversation about everything that went down, a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. He talks a lot about morale and what he heard and what stories were being told, etc. We really go into all of that. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, I think that you'll really enjoy that interview with Jonah. And additionally, we talk about what he's doing with New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, and PWG. He's been announced as the first entrant for the PWG Battle of Los Angeles. So we talk about that too. That's up there right now. You can check that out. And then I'm trying to think, I got something else. Title Match Network. You guys can hear me on commentary doing Mission Pro this weekend, December 11th. We got Silver Bells. So make sure you guys come in for that. It's an all-women show, but they do have men's matches as well. They have the so it'll be a good time. It's always a good time. So make sure you guys check that out as well. All right, I'm done. That's all I've got. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Bye, everybody.